Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm David Rooney, publisher of the Revelstoke Current. Welcome to In Conversation, our periodic discussion of all things political. And today, 1 week before the provincial election on May 9th, my guest is Doug Clovechok, BC Liberal candidate. Doug,
good to see you.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
We're getting close.
We are indeed.
Yeah, excited. We're really excited.
How you feel about the campaign?
You know what? We're feeling very positive. At the doors, we're hearing amazing things, and in businesses, and so the hard work that we put in over the last 4 years, David, I believe is going to be paying off 1 week from today. And the hard work that we've been doing since the writ has been dropped. I just want to thank everybody that's helped us, and all the people at the doors that have been encouraging and giving us cookies and food and drinks and all sorts of things like that. So it's been a lot of fun. I sure have enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
Now you've been to Revelstoke a lot. So now you ran in 2013.
I did.
You lost in 2013, but you didn't give up, and you've been back to Revelstoke a lot. Do you know how many times you've been here?
Geez. Well, you're right. I didn't quit, and while I'm thinking about that, I'd have to say I've been here since 2013 at least 20 times, whether it be for Rod and Gun Club dinners or riding in the parades over the last 4 years, or different meetings with different ministers with your community members. And so yeah, I've been here a lot.
Now you must have learned a few things about Revelstoke in the last time.
I sure have. Number one, Revelstoke's an amazing place. It's just absolutely beautiful here. What I've kind of come to understand about the people here in Revelstoke, they like to work hard and they like to play hard. And it's kind of that mountain spirit. There's a pride in this city that it's hard to compare it to others. There's just such a prideful way about it, and it's not without its issues, needless to say, as we all know. But we love coming to Revelstoke, and I got to be honest with you that when Susan and I come here now over the last 5 or so years, we've got friends here now, and we feel like we're at home, and people are very welcoming. So it's always great to be in Revelstoke.
Now you mentioned issues. What issues are people talking to you about? What issues? What local issues are resonating?
There's a few that come to mind to the forefront. Obviously, the highways is always going to be an issue, and we've been working on that. But just locally, one of the things that I've heard as recently as yesterday at the doors is a conservation officer, in the fact that there isn't one here right now. So that's a file that I've actually been actively working on with the mayor here, and with the Minister of Environment. And once the election is over next week and I'm the MLA, it's something that I'm going to be pushing hard for. I think Revelstoke's very unique in the sense that where it is, and although it's being serviced by conservation officers in Golden or from the Shuswap, I think there's a case to be made for reinitiating a CO here in town. So that's something I'm going to work on really hard to see what we can do with that. Water is a big issue, especially down in the Big Eddy. So everything and anything around infrastructure, the province has in our balanced budget have kind of set aside millions of dollars for infrastructure. So I just want to make sure that Revelstoke, as your MLA, I'm at that table, at the government table, fighting for the share that Revelstoke should get. So there's some water issues there. I think affordable housing is a big issue. No matter where you go, you've got some great affordable housing here already, but it's certainly something that we need to look more into. And part of that is the rental property and how it's being utilized for vacation rentals. I think we need to start to hold that a little bit more accountable in terms of them paying taxes, them being the folks that own those places that are renting them on a nightly basis. So that's actually taking rental units out of the market. We certainly don't want to interfere with business, because that's what we're about, business. But we're also about people, and we've got to make sure that there's lots of places for folks to live here in Revelstoke. So there's lots of work on that file to be done. Just as recently, again as yesterday, I guess there's some gravel pit issues I've heard about at the doors. Lots of dust and that sort of thing. So at the end of the day, there isn't ever a shortage of issues to work on in any given place in this riding, let me tell you. And to have a government MLA in place to help the mayor and the people of Revelstoke. I think it's going to be, for the first time in 12 years, with all due respect to the retired MLA, to have a government MLA for the first time in 12 years is going to make a difference here.
It certainly helps. So I think a lot of people in town are hoping so too.
That's what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing at the door, David.
Good. Now there is a major issue. It's a provincial issue. It's a national issue. It's also very much a local issue, and it's the Softwood Lumber War.
Oh boy, yeah. It's a big one, and it's something that I've heard about. I've obviously met with the mills throughout the riding here in Revelstoke, and was just in Golden at the LP mill, and in Skookumchuck and Radium. We've got some big mills here, and people are afraid, David. They're scared. This is a big deal, and there's a potential of people losing their jobs, which loses their homes and their livelihoods, and it has an effect on their families. So what I can tell you is that I've committed with my leader, the Premier, is that we're going to fight for people's jobs. She being Premier Christy Clark has already made it very clear that we're going to stand up to this protectionism. She's engaged with the federal government in Ottawa, which we have a very good relationship with, and we're going to fight it. And we've appointed a commissioner to an emissary to Washington to work on that file on our behalf. We've told the Americans that their thermal coal will likely not be coming through our ports, which isn't a bad thing, because that'll open up our ports to export more of the coal that is the good coal, the metallurgical coal. So we're there ready to fight for folks, and I got to tell you, I'm not surprised, but disheartened that the NDP, John Horgan, when asked what he was going to do with that file and fight for softwood lumber and fight for jobs and fight for British Columbians, he threw up his arms and said, "Good luck with that." And my opponent, Mr. Jerry Taft, his comment was, there's not much we can do about it until he's impeached. And well, there's been 2 presidents in 100 years that have been impeached. So we're not going to wait for an impeachment. We're going to fight for British Columbians, because that's what we do. And David, I'm a scrapper, and when it comes to fighting for my people, they're at the forefront. So softwood lumber is a huge issue. It's a big deal in this province, and there's 60,000 families that are depending on us to fight for them. 60,000 families. So I guarantee you, we're going to fight for them. Good. Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine. I can't understand for a second why Taft would have said that about Trump. I mean, it's silly.
Well,
just stupid.
It's they don't have a plan, David. That's the
well,
problem.
That's why he said it. They don't have a plan.
They don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And the BC Liberals, we've had a plan, and our jobs plan, and our BC on the Move plan. We've had plans. Are we perfect? My wife will tell you. You know my wife. My wife will tell you I'm far from perfect. And I'm telling you, our government's far from perfect. But you know what? We've been working hard for British Columbians, and we've achieved something that no other provinces have in terms of economics. Our social programs are working for people. British Columbia is a place where people want to live. This is communities we want to live in, and we should be really proud of what's going on in this province, because it's really good.
That's good.
We're working harder to make it better, but it's really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you very much.
Thank you, David, and next time we chat, I'm going to be your MLA.
Well, I hope
That's
so.
the plan, anyway.
Good.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Revelstoke. We appreciate everything you're doing.